Hi, Ben here from Trident Fly Fishing. I'm back here today in their studio to introduce the all-new Lamson Centerfire. It's their new made-for-saltwater reel, and I'm really excited to check it out. So if you've been following the Lamson brand for the last decade or so, you've probably noticed that saltwater reels are not really the headliner. In fact, they've always struggled a little bit to break into that saltwater market. In my opinion, their first really great saltwater reel is actually the Lightspeed M. It just does everything really, really well. But the Cobalt, which this Centerfire is sort of a replacement-ish for, didn't really sell that well. It was a little bit too expensive, people didn't really get all the features, it had some minor issues with durability. But we're really hoping that the Centerfire solves all these, and more importantly, that it does it at a way, way lower price. Who doesn't like that in 2023?
I wanted to briefly interrupt this review to let you know that this video is supported 100% by your purchases at Trident Fly Fishing. So if you're in the market for some new tackle, check us out at tridentflyfishing.com.
Now, before we dive into the specs on these reels, make sure you subscribe to our channel because we've got a lot of great content coming right up. Now onto the Centerfire. Starting with perhaps the most important feature on a saltwater reel, the drag, the Centerfire has lots of it. The drag has about 2 turns of adjustability, which is just about perfect. You're gonna get more range, more ability to tweak than on those single turn drags, but not so much that you're constantly turning and turning that wheel. It's also got a pretty strong drag. On this 8-weight here, you can definitely feel it. If I had to guess, I'd say it's in the 8 to 10 pound range, which is really solid for an 8-weight size reel. Of course, we did not throw this on our universal testing machine, so it's purely my guess, but it's a lot of drag. Up next is a spool design. Lamson did something that I really didn't expect here, which is they made sort of an average spool. And what I mean by that is that the Lightspeed M is so extreme. It's huge, it's narrow, it picks up line so fast, but this reel here is a lot more dialed back. It's got a 4-inch diameter, 1.1-inch width, 2.5-inch arbor, and picks up line at about 9.3 inches per turn. And all this is really more or less average for an 8-weight reel. But the Centerfire is an everyman's reel. This is gonna fit into everyone's idea of what an 8-weight reel should look like and how it should perform. And I think that's a great thing, particularly when your other saltwater reel is so extreme. On the capacity side, you'll fit a right down the middle, 275 yards of backing with an 8-weight bonefish line, which again, just what you want to see. In terms of weight, Lamson did a great job, as they always do, and this reel comes in at about an ounce lighter than your average 8-weight reel. It's about 6.5 ounces, and that is super, super light, and it's gonna balance even the lightest rods out there, like the Atlas. Up next is sound, and well, let me just demonstrate. So you notice it's got the same sound on both the incoming and the outgoing, and it's rather pleasant. It's certainly not going to be a T-bore, but it'll get the job done and definitely has that audible experience. And the last thing I like to talk about is ergonomics, and that's going to be your handle and your drag knob, and both are really solid on this new Centerfire. It's got plenty of grip here. It's easy to grab, even in the heat of the moment, and you're going to be able to put enough leverage on this handle even if you got a really big fish on the line. One thing that I did find weird though was how the spool comes off. The first time you do it, this little knob here is really, really tight. And the way it's designed, it's actually quite hard to get off. So I'm not sure why they didn't just make this a little bit more tactile. The good news is that after the first time, it's actually pretty easy and becomes a non-issue. And while we've got the spool off, I wanted to give you a look inside the reel at this drag. And of course, being a saltwater reel, it is fully sealed. Time will only tell to see if that seal holds up in the real world. And before we close out, I wanted to touch on price. And this 8-weight comes in at $480, which is going to be quite a bit lower than your Nautiluses and your Hatches, but definitely above sort of that Redington Echo intro price level. And I think if I were to sum things up, that's how I'd do it. We've got a fairly average performing reel at a fairly average price. But when you consider the fact that it weighs way less than average, I think this reel is actually a really good value. This new Centerfire comes in 3 models and 2 different colors, black and Citra, which is really just a silver. And it's available in an 8, a 10, and a 12 weight size, which is going to be perfect for those saltwater excursions. Add to that there's also the full cage HD option, which is going to be great for all those spay enthusiasts. Let us know what you think about this reel and tell us if you fish your Lamson in the salt by leaving us a comment in the box below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot of great content coming out. I'm Ben. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.